Say, Jason, what are you reading?
This podcast is brought to you by Trinity Set. No, it's not actually brought. It's brought to you by boredom and paper towels, I guess. But I'm reading Trinity 7. It is what you would call a manga. And
Say, Jason, what's a manga?
It's a book. I guess is what the normal people call it.
A picture book.
The cool kids. It's like a comic book, but not, because it's more like a book, but not really, because it's just pictures, but not really that, because it's not...
Is it what you might call a graphic novel?
Yeah...
It's a novel.
Sure, why not?
It has pictures.
I'm just asking you
As long
questions
as-
that I already know the answer to.
No, it... Yeah. Great, thanks.
So we were at the comic book
Yeah.
store, and you
As
just
long as
thought
it's
you'd
not a
try
comic.
something new,
Yeah, so...
and you saw that sitting on the shelf.
I read lots of manga, and I've run out of stuff to read, so... I just found something new. It looked appealing.
It was in a
let's-
plastic bag.
Well,
Yeah,
it was shrunk wrap,
Yeah,
basically.
some
Yeah.
manga are shrunk wrapped, and it's usually because there's mature content inside, which this one says there is. And honestly, so far, there's nothing in it that's really explicit or anything. Like, honestly,
Yeah, I didn't see any nudity when I flipped through
So
it.
I don't know what people were.
I saw a
worried
lot
about,
of
but-
people squeezing this one girl's big breasts, but other than that, I didn't see.
not even that. Much.
There's lots of manga where that going on.
That's like a
Eh.
running theme in most manga. There's always the one girl
No,
with the
it's
giant breasts.
not.
I can think it like every manga
Okay,
I've seen. There's
no,
at least one.
Not necessarily true, but there's... Would this be considered like a romance type of manga, or no?
All right, it's called Trinity 7, and according to the back and what I've read so far, it's about this kid who something weird happens, and he ends up going to this magic school, like the school where there's a bunch of people who learn magic, and he knows magic too for whatever reason, and he has to like get along with a bunch of girls, I guess, and I don't know, something about him trying to rescue his cousin who got like absorbed into some weird magic world, and he has to save her. I don't know. I haven't read that much, but it seems interesting. It's like Harry Potter, but way sexier. Oh, that Hagrid, when he's drinking the whiskey. No, just no. But
There's no Hagrid.
no,
Okay.
just a lot of beautiful women. Fuck, I was lied to.
But I wanted to get my fingers stuck in his beard.
Yeah, I know, I did too. But we can't always have what we want. You'll just have to be happy with big woman neat thing.
So you hadn't heard of this at all beforehand. You just sort of read what was on the back and thought,
Yeah, no,
maybe try it.
I've heard of the name before, and I've definitely like seen it around. But yeah, I don't know. I usually stick to stuff I'm either familiar with, or I mean,
Have
stuff
maybe
I
read,
figured
maybe
out. Or,
read
like,
something about before.
yeah, either like familiar types of stuff, like shonen type stuff, which is usually like, hey, there's a group of people and they have some kind of strong abilities and they band together to save the world from this and that. Like stuff like that. That's pretty run of the mill. I just wanted something different, so I sort of pseudo-randomly picked it off the shelf and was like, oh yeah, I've heard of this before, and it seems all right so far.
Cool.
And with that, should probably introduce ourselves. I am Jason, and this is the Retro Fat Cat Pod Cat
Fatcast.
Fast Past. What are we calling this?
Retro Fatcast.
Yes.
I'm Wes.
I'm Lauren. So, yeah, when we got down here today, I brought up a phenomenon that's been the last week or so, because it's everywhere at work.
Actually, before we get into that,
Wes wants to do something.
speaking of manga, I read these this week.
Wow.
Oh, did you read all 5 of those?
Yes.
Yeah, so you didn't see that, but that was about 1,000 pounds worth of books and the Ranma 1/2 series. One of my personal favorites.
Yeah, so Jason lent a whole shitload of these books to me. How long ago?
Like a year or two. I don't
Month,
know.
maybe?
It's been
2 months?
No, it's been.
No, it's been
a
at
long
least
time.
6 months probably.
Yeah.
And I read they're double books.
Yeah, so you get like a 2-for-1 deal. They're thicker, but they have like volume 8 and 9 or 9 and 10. Whatever.
Yeah, but so I read through 9.
So it's halfway through the 9 and 10 book.
Or no, I'd read through 8, which
Oh, so you finished that one.
right.
Okay, and you're
so,
on
and I had
9
started
and 10.
9 and 10, and just kind of put it aside and was getting kind of bored with it, I guess.
Yeah.
And then last
It is
week,
kind of a lot to read at once. I'll
Yeah.
grant that.
but last week I hurt my back, and it hurt to do anything basically but lie down.
Well,
So
that's
you
what
had
you get
plenty
for
of
juggling
time.
all those bowling balls.
Yeah. And so I started reading Ranma again, and I ended up reading 3 books within 3 days.
Nice.
And then I read these other 2 during the rest of the week, where I had to go back to work and do other things.
Great.
So yeah,
Now you got to read even more.
yeah, I'm really enjoying Ranma 1/2 again. It's what was it? There was this one storyline that took up like more than half of one book.
Yeah, some of them get pretty long, like involved.
Yeah, it was a storyline where Ranma lost his strength.
Yeah.
Remember that one that went on forever?
Yeah, I think so. There's several stories where Ranma ends up like either stuck as a girl or he's not as strong for some reason, some curse, and he has to like reverse it.
Well,
It's kind of one of the more common problems that sort of happens to him, but
Well, it was this one in 13 and 14 here where what's his name? Haposai or whatever the hell.
oh yeah, Haposai.
Yeah, Haposai. He puts
Oh
that,
yeah, he does that little curse thing that makes Ranma
yeah, he
weak.
puts a
and the
curse thing on him, and he's lost all of his.
moxibustion or whatever the
yeah,
hell it's called.
He's lost all his strength, and they have to try and figure out the reverse thing for it. And there's this ancient lost scroll that Haposai actually stole and forgot that he had. Yeah, and it's this big long storyline, but that was probably the most interesting one for me so far, and the most involved
Yeah,
that I've read.
there's for the most part it's just introducing the characters and then letting them just be wacky for a while with each other. But there are stories scattered throughout that are more involved, and those are usually more interesting. It's not just like a one-off, like, hey, Ranma meets some weirdo and they do weird things for half a book and that's it. Like, no, there's some more involved ones that are kind of cool.
And kind of one of my favorite things right now, it's just kind of small and trivial, but like a lot of times when somebody's getting kicked or punched in the face, she uses the sound effect moosh.
Moosh.
Yeah, or a goosh.
Apparently, their faces are really squishy.
It makes me think that their faces are made out of Play-Doh,
Oh.
and I enjoy that a lot.
I can't say I ever noticed that before, but okay.
Yeah, it's great. You should
Read the
look
sound
back.
effects. Read the sound effects. Huh.
Yeah,
Interesting sound effect. Moosh.
moosh for being kicked in the face.
Moosh.
Yeah, squishy. You know what else is squishy? Koro Sensei. So,
Yeah,
you
last
watched
time,
an interesting anime recently
last
based on
time-
a popular manga.
Last time we mentioned Assassination Classroom, and then Patrick jumped in and was like, "Assassination Classroom, what's that?" And we tried to explain, but then it moved on to other subjects somehow
Yeah.
because, yeah.
ADD is fun for everyone.
Yeah, we
Got
you
sidetracked.
lent me 2 discs that had 11 episodes total on both of them.
It's, I guess, the first half of the first season, or who
Something
knows
like
what
that.
it's divided into.
Assassination Classroom, it's really freaking good so far.
Yeah.
You have that 1 disc, but you don't have any more because who the hell knows if there's more English translated
yeah,
ones.
So far, that first set of discs is the only one I've seen, and I don't know, but they have lots of books that they keep releasing. So far, I have all of them that have been printed in English so far, which is 10. And yeah, the story goes much farther than in the few episodes of the show, obviously.
So you got me hooked on that with the show, and now
You're welcome.
I have to read the rest of them. And coincidentally, that's how you got me hooked on Ranma 1/2.
Yeah.
You had the first season or so
Yeah.
of that anime on disc, and I watched it and was like, this is really cool, and I like it a lot. And then you lent me all these books, and I got bored of it. But now I'm interested again, so I'll finish them. Don't worry.
Well, it is a lot of books to read.
Yeah.
It is a lot to read, and it started getting kind of repetitive, but as I got going on these books, I was like, it's still funny and good, and I like it.
Yeah, as long as you don't try and sit there and read it all at once, and as long as you don't get burnt out on it, and also don't take such a long break from it that you forget what's going on when you do come back to it, and then that's happened to me. Like I don't play a game or something for so long, and then I forget what I was doing, like in an RPG, and it's like, well, I could either restart and refresh myself, or keep going and not really know what's going on. But if I start over, I gotta, start over and lose like hours of work, and it's a toss-up, really. You just kind of have to not forget these things, I guess.
It's what kind of always happens to me with really long games.
Yeah.
I did that probably 2 or 3 times with Dragon Age, where I started it, and I got like 30 or 40 hours in, and kind of got bored of it for a while, and then came back to it 6 months or a year later, and I'm like, well, I might as well start over.
Yeah, it's always a fun.
I think there was one time where my computer got a virus. I was about 40 hours into the game. I was really enjoying it. I hadn't lost any of my momentum. I wanted to keep playing, and my computer got a virus so bad that I had to wipe the computer clean and reinstall Windows. So that put an end to that game.
Jeez.
Yeah, that would suck.
Okay, so Pokemon Go.
Yeah, that
Go.
came out a week ago.
Let you guys talk about this because it's some cell phone
Yeah.
shenanigans, and I thankfully don't own a cell phone.
Well, I
Yeah.
do own a cell phone, but I'm cheap and I don't buy a new one. I've had this one for like 5 years, so it's too old to run it. But everybody at work is like playing this thing. So I've seen like all I need to see of it. But
I'll just entertain myself with the purdy ladies while you talk about your packet monsters and your cell phones.
Yeah,
and
well,
your
this is a game.
goodness
This is a
gracious.
game that I haven't played either.
I've played the
no,
game. It's been around 20 years, and I've played lots of them. I know what Pokemon is. It just I don't.
I'm saying Pokemon Go.
Yeah,
I have not played.
I haven't played
it's
that.
completely different.
I have a phone, but number one, my internal memory probably isn't big enough to hold the game or to download the game. Like, I could probably put it on my SD card, but you have to download it onto the phone first and then transfer it over, and I probably don't have enough room for that. Number two, I don't give a shit.
Well, it seems like it's just a way that they want to make some money. They want to get in on all the phone games. It's like, oh, you can pay to get the special currency to, level faster and all that other fun stuff. I mean, it's a great concept. From what I've seen, it's pretty awesome. You just wander around, and your phone will vibrate when you're near Pokemon. You pull up the app, and it'll show like a little map of all these dots nearby, and you'll just kind of wander around towards one, and hey, these Pokemon pop up.
And you can walk around anywhere. Like, you can go
literally anywhere.
anywhere
People
on Earth.
in
and
our
find a
town, hometown is like apparently middle of the night is the time to run around and catch Pokemon, because there's just herds of people, literally herds, wandering around the town at like 2 a.m.
It's so weird.
It's a really weird concept that everybody. Well, I guess it's the locals, because
Do you have to be out at night to catch particular Pokemon?
yeah,
Is that the
certain
deal?
ones will show up at night, like you get like ghost Pokemon and stuff more like that at nighttime, and others during the day. But it's just, I think our town's more like a tourist trap. So there's like during the day, it's lots of tourists everywhere. So I could understand the locals like, well, let's go out at night when there's not tourists everywhere. So they're probably doing something along the lines of that. But it's at work. It's like everybody's like, oh wait, I just found a Pidgey off over here. Or, hey, there's a Squirtle over by the fitting room. What was that Squirtle doing? So there's stupid stuff like that. I really wanted to, because I'm a support manager, and I wanted to get with my counterpart when we were working together and go, we should get on the PA and page that Zapdos was sighted on the roof and see how many employees freak out.
Try to figure out
To the roof.
How do we get to the roof? But it's,
Employees, nothing. You're going to have customers trying to climb up there.
well, we work nights, so the store's closed.
Still,
But,
it's going to happen anyway.
Yeah,
They'll just come out
apparently
of the
there's
woodwork.
lots of things where people are just like going into places where they really shouldn't be to try and catch Pokemon.
What about the girl that almost got hit?
Yeah, there's one. His sister almost got hit in a crosswalk because she was trying to catch a Pokemon.
Standing, just stood in the middle of the road.
In the middle of the
crosswalk.
road is where it's at. So she's standing there trying to catch it, and somebody driving along nearly ran her over because he was trying to catch a Pokemon while driving his car. It's like,
Yeah, so that's a...
yeah, that's a very big downside to this because there's going to be a lot of idiots doing stupid stuff like
It
trying to
shouldn't be
drive
a
their
thing.
car while catching
shouldn't.
Pokemon.
What was that thing you saw about the Mewtwo on I-80 or something?
Oh, one of the people at work said he saw something somewhere like Mewtwo was seen on some major freeway and just hundreds of people just ran onto the freeway trying to find the Mewtwo and caused giant traffic jam.
Even if that's not true,
I can see it
happening.
Yeah.
Like it sounds, it's believable to me.
Because
People
yeah,
would be that stupid.
you've got people that just like wander into police stations and other random places trying to find these things. There's one at work. He was trying to go near this one spot that's like, I don't know. It's considered like a monument or something, and so it's a Pokestop. But it was late at night because we work nights, and he went over there before while he was waiting for his ride to come pick him up for work, and the guy that owns the area that this thing is at just came out all freaked out like, why are you here? What are you doing? Get away from here. Go away. And he had to spend like 10, 15 minutes trying to explain to him what he trying to get close to this statue to Pokestop app. Don't kill me.
Yeah. Or
kind of
or
thing.
people wandering into other people's yards to catch a fucking Pokemon.
Yeah,
that's there.
so it's a really good idea, but there's some downfalls to it that way because you just have people like wandering into places they really shouldn't be and causing problems. But my biggest problem with the actual gameplay is you don't fight the Pokemon. That's like the core thing to all the Pokemon games because I've been playing them since the very beginning, and it was always catch your Pokemon, go battle wild Pokemon to level it up and learn new stuff and get stronger and evolve it. Well, in this, you don't battle them. It's like you find them and then you just chuck Pokeballs at it until you catch it.
It's the Safari Zone, fully realized, but with no food or rocks.
Yeah, it's like that's what I was saying. It's like it is the Safari Zone, but you don't get to throw rocks or food. It's like, why don't you just give them rocks and food and then just make it Pokemon Go Safari? Because that's basically what it becomes.
Pokemon
But-
go to the beach.
Yeah,
Pokemon
the-
escape from jail.
it's
Pokemon
from
go to camp.
everything I see. It's totally designed to just suck up your money.
Pokemon
Because
save Christmas.
You get a limited number of Pokeballs, and you have to throw them. I mean, there was one of the coworkers at work downloaded it while we were working yesterday to play on it while we were working, and we were looking at it, and a Wigglytuff popped up, and most of the people who had been playing forever are like, a Wigglytuff? Oh my God, you have to catch this! And they're like sitting there throwing Pokeballs at it. No idea how to throw Pokeballs, okay? So she runs out of Pokeballs. Well, what happens when you run out of Pokeballs? You either got to find a Pokestop and get more, or you can pay $1 and get 20 more Pokeballs. So that's where the whole catch is, to where they're going to be like,
Yeah, if you're
Lots
not
of money.
if you're not near a Pokestop and you really want to get this
yeah, you really want
Pokemon,
to catch that thing, because sometimes you'll hit it with a Pokeball and it'll just pop out. Like,
is there
regular
there's
Pokemon.
just a it's just a random roll of the dice chance if if it catches it.
Yeah, and of course the higher level it is, and the rarer it is, it's going to be harder to get.
And you have to actually be able to hit it. Like there's a chance that you could miss if you don't fling it hard enough or whatever.
Because I threw a couple of them at it, and it's like there is a learning curve because you got to learn how to throw it. Because one of my coworkers was trying to throw stuff, and he was using his thumb, so it kept curving like off to the sides.
It's like playing a bowling game on your phone or something like that.
I could get him to go straight, but I wasn't doing it hard enough, so it wasn't going all the way to the Pokemon. And then when I finally got it over there, it just busted back out. But
so they're probably making most of their money off of the people that just downloaded it and are learning how to fling the things.
She ended up spending $5 buying Pokeballs, so that's 100 Pokeballs.
Oh, God.
But she caught it. So it's like, okay, well, you spent $5 for a Wigglytuff.
Great.
I mean, I would consider playing it if my phone did work, but yeah.
But then you have to power them up and evolve them by catching more of the same type.
You don't actually battle them to level them up. So the only way to make them stronger is to catch more of them to get candies of that type. Like you got to catch a bunch of Pidgeys to evolve one Pidgey into a Pidgeotto.
Now you said that it starts with the first gen Pokemon.
Yeah, right now it's just the first gen Pokemon.
So the thing that I'm curious about is obviously they plan on adding more Pokemon later, like each generation.
Yeah, I
every
imagine
once in a
eventually
while
they'll have all
they'll
of
release
them.
it. But what I'm curious about is if you're gonna have to pay each time to download the new ones.
Maybe it'll be like, oh, you buy the expansion to get the next ones,
or it might just be an update for free. Who knows?
Yeah, it could be an update for free, but
I'd say they're making
I'm
plenty of
wondering
money already just from. If people are already spending money buying stupid balls for their stupid, fake, stupid, not phone game,
it just depends on how many people are buying the Pokeballs or how many people are willing to go out and find a Pokestop or whatever to get free ones.
Yeah, a lot apparently.
And if there's not enough people buying the Pokeballs, they may charge for the next generation of Pokemon to add to your stupid game.
Like me, I'm cheap. I will sit here and just play a game for a year or more just to earn up enough stuff to get stuff. Like I've been playing Simpsons Tapped Out ever since I bought this phone like 5 years ago. And I still play it, and I haven't spent any money on it, but I've slowly accumulated all kinds of the currency to get the premium stuff. But it takes a while. And
you should just call that game Pokemonville. Like Farmville and whatever else.
Like I said, it's a really interesting idea. They just need to add in the battling. Because you can apparently do like gym battles and stuff, but from what it's not like an actual Pokemon game.
It's just
you
like
send
like
one Pokemon else into the thing and hopefully it beats it, I guess. I haven't seen that.
Or you could
how that works yet.
You make it stronger by catching more of them.
Another thing I heard is that the Pokemon only learn 2 different moves instead of 4. It's like you can only have 2 moves on a guy. It's like, well, this needs to be like a Pokemon game. They need to be able to know 4 moves. And you should be able to have your Pokemon battle the wild Pokemon to weaken it to make it easier to catch.
Yeah, I don't understand it. It's just to make money off of it, what they should do is charge to download the app, and then charge for the downloads to get the next generation of Pokemon in the game, and then everything else should just be free. You know, because I understand they got to make money off of the thing, but these microtransactions are...
it's just the major thing for all games now. It's kind of annoying.
Like, for me, though, microtransactions kill a game. Because there's a lot of games that become almost unplayable because of microtransactions. Yeah. If you don't buy something, it's almost unplayable. I don't know if that's how this game is or not, but...
Yeah, the Simpsons one was like that when I first started playing it. It took forever to get the donuts to basically get stuff. But now they've updated it to the point where you can get basically at least 1 donut a day. So it's not too unreasonable to get premium guys. It might take you a month or 2 to save up enough to buy something. But yeah, it took me like a year to save up to buy Barney
How much?
when I first started playing.
How much is a new Pokemon game on like 3DS or something?
About $40.
Yeah.
Okay,
Brand new, like the newest new ones.
Okay, so like, even if they charge maybe $5 for the game initially, the app to download, that's still if the game played more like a Pokemon game.
Yeah, if it
That
was
would
like
be
a
a
Pokemon
really
game,
good.
it would
That would
probably
be a
worth
really
it.
good appealing deal for a lot of people that like Pokemon games.
Yeah, $5 for a real life Pokemon game.
Yeah,
and
and
catch
then,
them and battle them.
you
and
know,
whatever.
charge
maybe
fi-
$5 for each expansion.
Yeah, something like
There's
that.
like what
It-
6
they-
generations now, so
they'd
that'd be
make-
like $30 for all of them.
They'd
once they
make
finally
plenty
come
of
out.
money off of it still at the same time, and people would feel like they're getting more out of it because they're only paying $5 at a time rather than 40 for all at once.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Right.
It just seems like a weird platform.
Yeah, I'm still not sure who it's supposed to appeal to, because, okay,
A lot of
everyone
people,
has
apparently.
a phone.
Yeah, apparently a lot.
Everyone has a phone except me, but I don't want one. But the point is, like, if you like Pokemon, you probably have a DS or Game Boy or friggin' something that plays a Pokemon game, because it's been around for over 20 years and there's plenty of options to play a Pokemon game. You don't have to be a millionaire. You don't have to buy a new console. If anyone was the least bit interested in Pokemon, they likely already have a Game Boy of some kind or DS of some kind and have one of those games. If they don't, and they don't care about Pokemon, why would they play this phone game? But if they are slightly interested, I mean, why not just get the real thing instead of a
Well,
crappy not phone
I think
game?
the mass appeal for it is that it's free.
Yeah,
And
that's a really
it can
good
stay
draw. I
it can
mean,
stay free if you want it to.
Yeah, as long as you don't mind running out of Pokeballs and having to walk somewhere. I mean, if you live in a city or even
Well,
just a
yeah,
decent sized town, there's plenty of places to pick up Pokeballs. You
There's
just have to
that.
walk a mile.
But then when you got people that are going to spend money on I need more Pokeballs in the game or whatever.
And
At that point, if you're going to spend money on this thing, you
Right,
are better off just buying a
Exactly.
real
game.
Pokemon game.
If you're getting to the point where you're going to spend money on getting more Pokeballs and stuff because you're at work and you should be working instead of playing this game,
True.
Yeah.
then you might as well buy the 3DS whatever game is out now. I don't know because I don't
Well,
follow
basically,
all those games.
The plus to it is getting Nintendo finally got people outside. They've been doing that forever.
Yeah.
Go play outside every once in a while when you're playing your games. Like, remember to go outside once in a while.
you
And
know
now they
how
have
this
one
is
where
a-
you go outside.
You know how this is a mobile gaming device? I'm just gonna sit on my couch and play it.
Yeah,
instead.
everybody's just like, Game Boy, yes, cool, I can take this anywhere. I'll just sit on my bed.
Or parents could actually do their jobs, not give their fucking kids cell phones or screens to stare at every waking second. Throw their asses outside, tell them they aren't coming in until dark, and let them fucking play outside like real children.
Nowadays, they just give them a phone with Pokemon Go, and they'll never see their kid again because they're going to be running around everywhere all
They're
24/7.
gonna- Well,
But-
or they'll be standing in the middle of the street trying
Getting
to catch
run over.
a
Yeah, get run
Charmander and get run over by
But-
a car.
Hooray
mean-
for
and
Darwinism. Hopefully we get rid of all the stupid people finally.
It might actually finally bring
I caused a
bring
40 car
natural selection
pileup
back
because there
into
was
play.
a Mankey on the freeway. I just had to have it.
Yeah, natural selection's been dead for about a century or so, so it might bring that back.
We'll see how
but
it goes.
All it's made me do watching it is make me want to play my DS game again because I haven't played the Pokemon game since I beat it, and I haven't gone back to it, and it's like now I kind of want to go play it
Even
again.
if I had a phone, if I'm going to play Pokemon, I'm going to play one of the real games. Like, I might experiment with the free stupid phone thing for 5 minutes, but literally I have no desire to play something like that for an extended period of time.
It did kind of make me feel like I want to play Pokemon Ranger again, actually.
Yeah,
And
again, that's a real
actually
Pokemon
finish
game.
that game. I never finished that one.
It's an actual game.
It is actual game. They should make more of those. They were really fun.
I never played that one.
It's more it's just different from
Yeah,
the
a
core
regular
game.
Pokemon game.
The core game is basically the same every time. It's just they add more Pokemon because there's more now. But the core game is just, hey, I'm gonna become a Pokemon trainer. You get your base level Pokemon. You go out and you
catch guys,
catch
and
Pokemon,
level them up, and,
and
fight the gym.
fight
It's
the gym.
basically the same story every
Yeah.
time, which gets dull. But
Same thing every time, but there's more Pokemon each game, whatever, and that's fine. But and obviously they're gonna keep making them because they keep selling them.
yep.
So why not make the same game over and over again and make more money off
And
of
I
it?
probably will buy the next one when it comes out.
But the
Pokemon Sun and Moon coming later this year for 3DS.
Pokemon Ranger, I think they only made 3 games.
Did they make 3? I thought they only made 1.
No,
That's all
yeah.
I
When I
ever
looked
heard of.
at, there's at least 2. I believe there's 3. Yeah, and it's on DS. You use the stylus, and you're a ranger, and there's this group of bad guys. It's been a while since I played it, but there's this group of bad guys, and they're little we're assholes. And you have one Pokemon that stays with you the whole time. It's like your partner. And but when you're going through the area, you can capture more Pokemon that you have a one-time use of during a combat, and they can use their little ability to slow down the Pokemon you're trying to catch or stop or whatever. And you have to use your stylus to go make circles around the Pokemon you're trying to catch a designated number of times, but they can do stuff to like break your circle. And I don't know, it's kind of weird, but it's just different.
Yeah.
I like playing different games. I like feeling like
Just
I'm
being
discovering
something a
something
little
new.
different.
Circle drawy stuff seems like an interesting way of catching dudes instead of just throwing a ball at them and hoping the percentages are high enough.
Yeah, like you can use, like I say, you can use other Pokemon's abilities to like slow them down or
Yeah.
whatever.
I never played any of those Ranger games, but yeah, that sounds cool.
I like feeling like I'm discovering like a new thing, like that a lot of people haven't heard of. It feels like, ooh, I'm in a mine and I found a treasure. Ooh. Sparkly. I don't know. It's just fun for me to find games that aren't that popular,
But they're still good.
Yeah.
but are good. Yeah.
They just didn't get the attention that others just did.
Yeah.
Yeah, most people, like, for video games, for example, you see a lot of people, like, say, go into a game store and they're immediately drawn to, like, if it's Nintendo, it's probably Mario or Zelda. If it's friggin' Xbox or something, they go over to the Halo and all the mainstream, shooting games and action
PlayStation,
games.
Call of
and,
Duty, or whatever.
yeah, God of War and all that crap.
Battlefield.
Like, if you like that type of game, great, but I never saw the appeal in that kind of super mainstream stuff. It just felt really bland and pandering.
Except for Mario.
Blandering.
Except for
I'm
Mario.
trademarking that word, blandering.
Except for Mario and Zelda.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
Jason.
Jason's a
Those are the
Nintendo
ones that
fanboy,
Jason
and that's
goes
fine.
Yeah.
I like Nintendo, and that's all right with me.
I'm an Xbox fanboy, and I love Halo. Just
no.
kidding. I hate Halo.
Yeah.
It's alright.
It was kind of fun playing at 2 players because it's fun having a game you can play with a friend and
Yeah,
try
there's
and
not that many games
complete
now that
together.
are co-op.
Yeah, cooperatively. Like, I like cooperative multiplayer games, like the Gauntlet series, Gauntlet Legends, and Dark Legacy. Some of my favorite multiplayer games because it's you and up to 3 friends, fighting monsters, trying to, accomplish goals. It's fun playing games like that.
Or you could just play multiplayer Halo team.
Yeah, or you could just
capture
play
flag deathmatch.
generic shooting game and just do deathmatch, which is in every shooting game ever, and just kill your friends over and over in a small arena. Like, whatever, right?
Or have a headset on and listen to some 12-year-old cussing you out.
Yeah, it's
That's always amusing. Some 12-year-old whose parents aren't in the room.
I just never
trying to
understood
sound
all
like an
that.
adult. It's like, okay, really? Yeah.
I did actually have fun. That newer NBA Jam game that came out on PS3 a couple years ago, whatever it was.
Oh yeah.
I actually got way into that game for a little bit because I've played NBA Jam all the time on Sega Genesis.
Great game.
When I was a kid. Excellent game. And that game came out. I was like, yay, more NBA Jam. And it had a mode where you could play it online, obviously, like every other game.
Yeah.
But the most fun I had playing that online was when other people had their headsets on. I didn't ever have a headset or anything like that.
Yeah.
But when I liked beating them with the clippers because nobody uses the clippers.
You're like Clippers.
But I loved
Boom shaka
I loved just like trouncing on them with the clippers, or some team that nobody ever plays with, and just hearing them going, "What the fuck, man? This is some bullshit. Fuck this!" And just hearing that was so satisfying. It was so much fun because they always picked
that.
They always
13-year-old
picked the Heat or whatever. The one with
the popular team of the day.
yeah,
That.
whatever the best team was. With
Back in the
best
90s,
players.
early 90s, it was like the Chicago Bulls because Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen. and
Well,
all
except
those...
Michael Jordan wasn't in the game.
Well,
It
yeah,
wasn't an
it
NBA
was
game.
Scottie Pippen and what was the other guy's name?
I don't remember.
There was a few of them,
But yeah,
Kukoc,
Michael Jordan's never been in an NBA Jam game. They could never get him.
Yeah, they never got his license.
They couldn't afford
which is
him, huh?
weird. Like,
He was in. I can't remember what the situation was. But yeah,
He might have made his own
there's
basketball
particular
game, I
there's
don't know.
particular players they were never able to get because their likeness was owned by EA or something.
yeah, they had a partnership with something else, and it's like all those sports games you'd see back then. It's like Jim Kelly's Pro Football. It would have Jim Kelly in it, or whoever, and it would have the Bills maybe, but then every other team would just be like generic, and it's like, well, you got that one player's license, so good for you.
Yeah.
Well, it might have been Joe Montana. I don't know. It was weird.
Joe Montana seems more likely.
Yeah, I'm thinking of like a Genesis game. They had like a couple Joe Montana Real Sports Talk Football or some bullshit. And,
Yeah.
like the big deal was like, oh, it can talk.
It's-
so you get like a first down. The game was no.
It's the same with boxing games like Buster
James
Douglas.
Buster Douglas, real knockout slapping-tistic boxing kabamos.
Yeah, or
It's always a weird.
Evander
long time.
Holyfield's Real Deal Boxing.
Yeah, it's their
That
name
was
and then
actually
like
kinda
some
fun, but-
weird. Yeah.
Yeah, but
Name
it's
title.
like they have that one real boxer in the game, and then the rest are all generic weirdos.
Yeah.
Mike Dyson. I wonder who this guy's supposed to be.
Yeah, they should put Michael Baxon in the basketball games.
By the way, I beat Evander Holyfield's Real Deal Boxing as good as you can beat it, I guess,
Mhm.
in career mode.
Really?
And I've defended my title about 10 or 15 times now.
Is your guy 100 years old yet?
Probably. I'm waiting, because I think in that game your stats kind of slowly dwindle as you get older, because you keep training in between, but you gain less and you lose more each time.
Yeah.
And every other time somebody challenges you for the title, it's Evander Holyfield again. He just keeps trying.
I want my title back.
I could probably go on that game and bring up my career again and be like, oh, I'm still champion, but I won't be for long. Because you're just waiting to be bad enough for somebody to whip you.
That's right. You win, and then you just sit around waiting to eventually lose, because it's gonna happen, or you're gonna die.
It's just like real life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
What
you can actually retire your boxer too while still holding the title if you
Right.
want. But
And then
who wants
just
to do that?
Sit on it all the rest of your life. Get like barbecue.
Bring up your
endorsements.
save on this old Genesis game. Look at that! I was a champion and I retired champion.
You're gonna be on,
Nobody
like,
ever beat me.
Weird commercials selling products on like QVC at like 3 a.m. Do you ever worry about your nails? I know I do. Good nails are key to good boxing. I'm Evander Holyfield for Real Deal Buster Slapper Nail Kebab. You're like me. Dealing with your nails is impossible.
I almost wonder if that game came out in response to Mike Tyson's Punch Out.
I'm sure it did. It was one of the earlier Genesis games where
Because it was
like
like,
Michael
this
Jackson,
is the real
Walker or
deal
something.
boxing, not
Yeah.
like that stupid
Like,
arcade
oh,
game.
it was way more better in looking and sounding, so it's the real thing. And also, we have our own celebrity guy. We can't use Mike Tyson, but here's someone who's just kind of as good almost. And take that, Nintendo. That's what Sega's marketing was at the time. Like, anything that could be like, take that, Nintendo. And
Pretty
then
much.
Nintendo made the Super Nintendo, and it's like, oh, this console's way better than...
Except
the
Punch Out on there
Genesis.
was not good.
Yeah, the Super Punch-Out wasn't as good as original Punch-Out, I guess, but I never really liked Punch-Out. It was one of the games I never grew up with, so I don't have much of a nostalgia for it. And
I played it a lot, but I never got good at it.
yeah, I mean, I finished it once, maybe, but I I don't know. I never liked it that much.
Hmm.
That's a picture on a phone. What is it?
It's something everybody sees on Facebook now. Are Pokemon Go memes?
Oh,
Yay!
Yeah, it's a crabby.
I also don't use
standing
Facebook, so I'm happy.
next to a pot of steamed crab. So
I was sitting down to have dinner, and then this Pokemon showed up on my phone, and it's like a crab, and I was eating crab. Isn't that a coinkerdink?
It's got a Princess Bride joke that everybody knows and sees all the time now.
Yeah. Don't drag down a good movie with your shitty not game phone game.
Well, it's like the World of Warcraft trade chat. You just go on there for 5 minutes, and your faith in humanity is just like crushed.
Why? What goes on there that crushes
What
you?
doesn't go on?
Yeah, just what people say.
Yeah, pretty
are
much
just
that
like,
chat is everything short of slave trading, and even that could be
basically
in there
people
somewhere.
go on there and try to be as offensive as possible. At least I hope they're trying, and that's not the way they really are, because that would really crush your faith in humanity even more. Because just looking at it in the first place is just like, why did you waste effort typing that? What are you getting out of this? I don't understand. I really don't understand trolls, but apparently people get off on it. So, yeah, that's kind of way it is with a lot of things on Facebook now, too.
The last thing
Again, I'm glad I don't use Facebook, internet, any kind of connectivity, or mobile devices whatsoever. Yep, I'm living in the past, and it's much happier back here. Everyone's
I don't know. You
fucking worried
sound sound pretty upset to me.
There's another
I'm
Pokemon
upset
Go
because
meme.
everyone else doesn't realize they'd be better off without their damn phones in their faces all the time. No offense, but phones are stupid. If you're listening to this on a phone right now, we thank you very much for your support.
Yeah, the last thing I remember about being on World of Warcraft was some guy was trying to make me duel him. He would challenge me to a duel, and I would decline it. And then he would challenge me to a duel, and I would decline it. And then he would do that about 15 or 20 more times, and I would decline it. And then he would
Well,
say,
when you,
"What the hell? Why aren't
ignore
you dueling
asshole.
me?"
Slash
and I was
ignore.
like, "Well, I've declined your duel challenge about 20 times now, so obviously I don't feel like it. Is that good enough reason?"
That's what you get for wandering into the very first town you see in the game.
Yeah. Stay
That's-
away from Goldshire. And,
It seems like
yeah.
all people do is start a character in that, go straight to Goldshire, and just stand around fighting each other in the streets all day. And it's incredible. It's like, that's the only place in the game, too, they do that. I don't know why.
Well, for the Horde, it's just outside Ogrimmar.
Well,
It's outside the main city for...
Or-
yeah, there's like a
in
designated
Ogrimmar.
asshole point that
Right? Can
everyone
you
runs
can duel
to.
inside?
Well,
the-
you can duel anywhere, but
I've
it's
seen
like
a- I've
everybody
seen a lot of-
congregates in the one spot for each
Yeah,
side.
well, yeah. There's a lot of people outside Ogrimmar, but there's also a lot of people in Ogrimmar in that main area right when you walk in.
Yeah, I never did much for Horde side because I was usually always playing Alliance characters.
I was always on Horde.
So, but I do have some Horde characters, and I always found them like right outside the gates. But there wasn't anywhere near as many as on the Alliance side. It's always Goldshire. Everybody's there. There's like 100 high level people there, and they're just like dueling nonstop.
Yeah.
Because I always see them every time I go to the Dark Moon Fair, because it's over.
And-
The entrance is over there, and it's like
I think there's some achievement that you get for winning so many duels or whatever.
yeah, you get there's
I think
achievements
there's
you can
several
get.
of them, and I would get people that were like 20 levels higher than me challenging me to duels, and I'm like, you're just trying to get that friggin' achievement. Aren't you?"
Yeah, that's the thing.
Dick.
It's like, oh, I'll just beat all these low-level people, and it's like, it's not even a challenge. There was one that was bugging me when I was like 20 levels higher than him, and he just kept bugging me and bugging me and bugging me for duel, and it's like, finally I'm just like, fine, yes, I accept. And then I threw a fireball at him, and he died, and I wandered off.
Yeah,
It's like,
that sounds
okay,
about right.
what was the point of that? Why were you? Did you seriously think you were
probably-
going to win?
Probably the most fun I had with other player interactions was when I would actually run into a player on the other. Like if I was Horde,
Yeah,
I'd
the
run into an
opposing.
Alliance player, and we'd just be facing off like all right, motherfucker, what's your first move? And I was usually a hunter, so I could like trounce people that were several levels higher than me, and that was always a lot of fun. I think I was a level 12 hunter one time, and I happened to run into this guy that was some assassin that was he was probably level 15 or so, and I killed him probably 5 or 6 different times, and then finally he was able to sneak up behind me and backstab me and kill me. I'm like, all right, you got one. Good job.
There you go.
You feel better. And then there's this other one. I guess there's a Alliance and Horde quests right in the same area, and I was running into this other hunter that was about the same level as me, but I killed him probably 20 different times. He just could not get me, and finally he just left. He's like, I'll do these quests later.
Yeah.
you got this area for now.
Yeah, I remember that before the Cataclysm, because I didn't play a whole lot before Cataclysm, but I do remember there were like the PvP zones, and there was lots of quests there. And
yeah, like
most of those I just avoided because I didn't really care about PvP. But there's areas. There's a couple you can still go to where there's quests, and it's like
yeah,
PvP
you're just
areas.
going through the normal quest line.
Yeah, and
there happened to be Alliance and Horde quests in the same area.
same area,
just like shooting games
that's
online.
what it was. Is I was just like, I don't even. At a certain point, I was like, I don't even want to kill this guy anymore. I feel like,
but he keeps attacking me, so I have to defend myself.
I just want to do this quest, but he just kept attacking me. I'm like, fine, you're asking for it.
I'm playing this game to enjoy the game, not fight against other players. That's why I don't like Halo.
I was fine facing off with him a couple times. It was fun, but at a certain point, I'm like, I just keep killing you, dude. Just back off. Like, you're over there, and I don't care about you anymore. But he just kept attacking me.
Yeah, some people get like butthurt and a chip on their shoulder and have to try and prove something, and sometimes
that's
they
where
do.
my good
Most
friend
of the time they
/ignore comes in handy. I used that more than a few times when I played World of Warcraft. All that.
Whenever I got somebody who kept like challenging me to duels, it's like I decline it once or twice, and after that I just go like, okay, ignore.
And then I'd fly away, and they couldn't follow me because they're just.
I wasn't aware of that function.
Yes, there's
/ignore,
and then the
can
character's
never
name.
talk to you
and
ever again.
You won't hear anything from them.
Unignore them.
That would be super useful. I wish I had known about that.
You wouldn't even see anything that they say anymore.
Would it work for?
It just cuts it off.
Would it work for PvP stuff?
Yeah, it just they can't trade with you. They can't talk to you. They
wouldn't be able to
challenge
attack
you.
But like PvP, would they be able to attack you?
Only if you're flagged for PvP.
Okay. I was just curious how far that ignore went.
Yeah, it basically means they can't bug you anymore.
Yeah, too bad I didn't know about that. Oh well, I don't play it anymore.
Yeah,
I don't
you
either.
could play
My
for free up to
computer's
level
kinda
20.
Yeah,
but
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm kind of bored of it at the moment.
How fast the leveling goes in that game now, it wouldn't be a whole lot of gameplay. Really.
Yeah, but then there's 100 levels you got to level now, which is grind. I wanted to get my 6th character up to level 100 before the new expansion, but the last few weeks it's like I haven't hardly even played at all because I'm just like kind of bored.
If the speed of the leveling went the same way as the original game did, level 20 would be a lot of gameplay. You'd be playing for a long time before you had to pay anything to keep going.
Yeah, now you can get to level 20 in like an hour.
Yeah. Well, that's probably why they did that, because hey, we'll get people hooked, and then they'll start paying for it.
Yeah, it's still fun if you haven't done much or if you have actual people to play with. But yeah, it's right now it's at the end of an expansion, and everybody's just kind of waiting for the next one. So it's a listless time. Everybody's just wandering around like, what do we do for the next month?
The last time I played it was when the Panda expansion came out, and I think I went to the Panda World once. It ran so slowly on my old computer that it was almost unplayable, and I was like, well, I guess I'm not doing this anymore because there's really nothing else for me to do. Oh well. So I don't know.
Hey Jason,
Mario Party.
No.
Yes.
Well, we finished that Mario Party
We
game.
tried our
We
best
tried
to
playing
kill you.
a Mario Party. We did 50 turns, which is the law.
You know why?
we're
The only
friends.
reason you want to talk about this right now is because you won.
Yeah, we kept trying to steal his stars and coins. And
even
he
with
still
everyone
won at the end.
ganging up against
Actually,
me, I still won.
the interesting thing is I actually won that game, but then they gave away free stars at the end, and then Jason won.
Yeah.
Because he got all the bonus stars at the end.
But I honestly wasn't planning on that because I didn't think I got all the coins from the mini games. I did okay in mini games, but I didn't think I got
You only
the
got
most.
almost 500 coins from the mini games that we
No, it was
stole
more like
almost all of.
400.
400 something, and
Yeah,
you had like
it was 300.
30 left when the game was over.
Okay, other than Mario Party, you got some Game Gear games today?
Oh yeah,
Like a
so
lot?
we went to our favorite game store and they had a big box of Game Gear games, a couple boxes, and I was like, hey, can I look at these? And it's like, oh yeah, sure. And they've just been sitting in the back for a long time, and I looked through them, and it's like, hey, there's some good ones in here. Also, like 47 copies of Sonic 2.
Yeah, there was literally like 50 copies.
Like, yeah, every other copy I picked up of a game was Sonic 2. And there's a lot of other ones like Combs and stuff, but yeah, tons of Sonic 2. It's like,
did
I
you
already
end up-
have 2 game cartridges of that. I don't need any more Sonic 2.
Did you end up getting Shinobi 2?
Yes.
I figured
So,
you'd get that one.
I actually have a...
Yeah, there was a bunch of them. At first, because they weren't even priced, so the owner had to like go through and
they had
price
to
them
price
all.
them.
And
What happened with that?
well,
Like, he
at
priced
first,
them all?
when he looked them up, he accidentally looked up
Yeah,
the,
he was
the
looking
price
up full box
for if
prices.
it had the box and
so
everything.
obviously they were more expensive.
So
and
it was like $200 and something, and
it's
we're like,
man,
what?
these. Well, I'm not getting these
Okay, yeah.
expensive games. But then he actually looked at. Oh
He
wait,
looked-
these are.
Yeah, he didn't. It's like, oh wait, no, that's not the loose cost. So then he looked it up, and then it became far more reasonable at like.
It's like
way
okay,
less.
yeah, a few bucks for a
$82.
game.
Like,
That's
well,
yeah.
Yeah, it was like $80 for.
For the Game Gear
For
games.
all
Still
of
up, but
the
there's
Game
like
Gear
what
games.
7, 8 games here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 8 games. And yeah,
What did you receive?
so I got Shinobi 2, The Silent Fury, which I've never played. I only played that first Shinobi that you have, Wes, that you lent to me. And Super Monaco GP, which it was also on Genesis. I never played it, but it's a racing game, like a good, popular one. I like it. Virtua Fighter Animation, which I've only read about, and it seems interesting. It's hard to explain, and I don't know much about it,
Seems-
but...
Weird to have a Virtua Fighter game on Game Gear.
well, yeah, it's kind of like that Genesis one I have, where it's
Did
you know
they-
it's just 2D sprites.
They
It's
did
not
it down
3D.
to 2D, right?
Yeah. But the thing is, like,
That's the only way they could do it for Game Gear.
yeah, I think this one has like a kind of a story mode or something. It's weird, but I wanted to check it out. It's interesting.
It probably should have a story mode because, I mean,
Yeah,
the real fun of a fighting game.
yeah, it's playing with friends,
Is
and it's
playing
hard to
with
do,
friend.
especially with handhelds. And even if the handhelds back then, the fighting game ports on them were miserable.
Would you be able to hook up 2 Game Gears, or is that impossible? I think.
Yeah,
that's
you
possible.
can connect 2 Game
Oh, you
Gears.
can?
There's
Okay.
a link cable.
So there is a way if somebody else had a Game Gear and you
And
had
the
the link
copy of the
cable
game and
and
the
had the
link
copy of
cable.
the game.
Well, yeah,
then
it's like
you
the
could-
Game Boys. It's like
you could
everybody needs their own
conceivably
Game
fight
Boy,
each other on
link
that game.
cable.
I suppose, but yeah.
Okay.
And then there's also Super Columns, which I think is basically Columns 2, because they have Columns and Columns 3 on Genesis, no Columns 2, but then they have Columns and Super Columns on Game Gear, and I think Super Columns is Columns 2, and I've never played Super Columns, even though I played the Air Columns games. Columns not very good, but it's okay for a puzzle game. And
Okay.
that sort of thing is better on handhelds.
Right.
And Outrun Europa, which I guess it just means Outrun, but like in a Europe theme setting. Outrun is a fun game. I like that. And Lemmings. Gotta have Lemmings. Good old Lemmings. Lemmings is great.
I mean, they have Outrun on
Yeah, on Genesis and
on the
Master System. And
Well, if it's on the Master System, then it's probably
it's
pretty
probably
close.
the same thing.
Pretty
Like,
close, yeah.
The Game Gear was basically Master System, but with a higher screen resolution and color palette, basically. They even have the Master Gear converter. You can plug it into your Game Gear and play Master System games on your Game Gear. But there's no way to play Game Gear games on your TV with like Genesis or Master System or anything. There's nothing like that. But they do have the converter for playing Master System games on both Game Gear and Genesis. Anyway, Lemmings. Lemmings is fun, and I shouldn't have to explain it because it was on every system in the history of the universe.
Lemmings is fun.
Defenders of Oasis, which is an RPG. Like, you remember that Beyond Oasis?
Yes.
This is it's the same series.
Oh, really?
So I'm interested to
Interesting.
check that out.
Yeah,
and
that
then
sounds
Sonic
cool.
Blast, which is like a weird labyrinth type overhead. It was supposed to be like Sonic 3D Blast, but on Game Gear, but it's not really. It's kind of its own thing. Or wait, no, never mind. That was Sonic Labyrinth. Sonic Blast is a normal-ass Sonic platformer. But it was cool because...
Were they trying to play off of Sonic 3D Blast?
Well, that name in the 3D Sonic on the picture is literally the one from 3D Blast.
That's what I was
but
thinking.
It's got nothing to do with that. It's literally just a 2D side-scrolling Sonic, but you can play as Sonic or Knuckles in it.
It
So
seems like they're trying to, like, trick you into thinking it was, like, 3D
yeah,
Blast, though.
when 3D Blast came out on Genesis and later Saturn, they did release a Master System game, Sonic Blast, at the same time with the same appearance outwardly, but it's just a different game. It's a
But
platformer.
that's actually really cool that you can play as Knuckles on a Game Gear.
Yeah,
thing.
like even Sonic Triple Trouble, which had Knuckles in it, you couldn't play as him. So yeah, it was like a Game Gear game. Probably the only Sonic one you could play as Knuckles, I think. The racing games aside.
Mm-hmm.
And then I also got a battery pack for my Virtual Boy, and hopefully, as of now, I left my Virtual Boy with the game store where I got it because they're going to repair it. It's got those stupid horizontal lines that I guess is a common problem, and there's a common fix. They're going to have a guy fix it tomorrow, I guess. I'll pick it up next week. Hopefully it's fine. And then a TurboGrafx game, Keith Courage and Alpha Zones, which, if you played it, great. It's an alright game. It's a platformer. But it was the original pack-in game for the TurboGrafx 16 in America. And NEC and Hudson didn't have the greatest confidence in this game, I think, because when they stopped packing this game in with the TurboGrafx, they didn't even release the game by itself. So it's honestly not any... Well, I'd say it's hard to find, but it was pretty cheap, so I guess they made lots of them even though they never sold it individually. So, yeah, that one will be fun to play, like dust off the TurboGrafx again.
You'd think it would be somewhat rare considering how poorly the TurboGrafx did in
Yeah,
the US.
and this is like a not super well-received game on a not super well-received console that was only sold with said console. Yeah, but, I liked it.
It's either not that rare or it's just not that sought after.
Yeah, it probably isn't that. So, like, most TurboGrafx games, really, they aren't that well sought after because most people don't care. And there are great games on the TurboGrafx, but like I said, most people don't get that system. They don't collect for it. It's not Nintendo or Sega. It's not mainstream, so no one really cares.
Yeah, I'd never even heard of it until you made me buy it.
But it's got good games.
So,
It's got a 5-player Bomberman. Oh, yeah. Keith Courage and Alpha Zones. I'm sure the Japanese name was, like, way different, but when they Americanized it, air quotes, they gave it a goofy name, like they did with a lot of games.
Does Keith have lots of courage?
I would think so.
you'd hope so.
Or
It's
is
in
that
the title.
or is that just his last name and he's timid actually?
Maybe he's quite
I think it's
cowardly.
his name. There's a comic book in here. Maybe it says what it is. His first name is Keith.
Well.
Oh,
alright
the
then.
year is 2004.
Oh,
And
wow,
a giant
that's so far in
meteor
the
is
future.
about to crash into the planet, and aliens and shit are coming out to destroy everyone. You know, I remember that year. It was pretty wild. That was a wacky weekend, let me tell you
Yeah,
what.
that was the gosh, that was my junior year of high school.
Oh, yeah. Wacky weekend. Get this. Bad. B-A-D. Beastly alien dudes have arrived. That's what they call them.
I must have been
are
so
bad.
preoccupied with school that I missed all this.
Yeah,
Oh,
it was
on the
kind of
news.
low key.
And the
kept
good
off the
guys,
news.
the good guys are called NICE. N-I-C-E. Nations of International Citizens for Earth.
Oh.
They must have worked pretty hard on that.
And they got a big robot suit. Some guy's father gets shot. Now Keith has to fight. And what the
Wearing
hell?
some armor.
Is this really his... I'm trying to see if that's really his last name. They don't say. It probably is, because, yeah. whatever. It's a kind of fun platformer. It's nothing like special, but nothing. It's not bad or anything. It's an alright game.
It's
Is
not
it-
Incantation.
Is it better than oh shoot, what's that other one called?
Yeah, it's better than Incantation because it's an actual complete game for
No,
one.
not Incantation. The other TurboGrafx game you had, the platformer.
Oh, JJ and Jeff.
Yeah, JJ.
Yeah, it's better than that. Especially since JJ and Jeff being a game based off of two Japanese television personalities, and of course that reference is completely gone in an American version. They just called them JJ and Jeff instead of Kato-chan and Kin-chan, I think was what they were actually called. And the original game had like all kinds of poop and pee jokes and stuff, and for that it was kind of funny, even though it was a not good game. And then in America, they just censored all that stuff, made it two guys in normal suits, call it JJ and Jeff, and it's just a normal crappy platformer. And so it loses the one little weird appeal of it, but whatever. Keith Courage is better.
Doo-doo and pee-pee.
Yeah, just like you'd jump on poop, and the guy would be peeing on like a garbage can, you'd kick him and he'd run off, and just weird shit like that. Like, I guess their TV show was kind of raunchy or whatever. I never watched it, but unless you lived in Japan at the time, you wouldn't know. So,
Interesting.
And a new N64 controller. New, better stick.
Refurbished.
Yeah, the stick is refurbished.
And
And,
like every N64 controller, they all die eventually with
Well,
the joystick.
yeah, as
Thanks
long as
to
you stay
Mario
away
Party.
from Mario Party, which we will from now on.
I think the stick is the only thing you ever have to refurbish on those things.
Yeah, the buttons are all
Unless you
fine.
get a bunch of gunky crap in the buttons.
Yeah,
Yes,
that's
if you're spilling soda all over your N64, because.
Well,
just
then
buy a
you
new
got
one.
bigger
slob.
problems. And
But yeah. Alrighty.
I think that's probably a podcast.
yeah,
What, a little over an hour? That's probably good. Anybody got anything else?
I think Wes has something to say.
I need to poop.